We got into a deep dive on the whole CEO shooting in Luigi.
With some breaking news, CNN has obtained new surveillance video from the fatal shooting of the United Healthcare CEO.
Person of interest in that CEO killing.
Police say gunmen shot Thompson from behind as he came out of a Manhattan hotel this morning. The incident captured on surveillance video.
The man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson has just pleaded not guilty in New York State court.
Gen Z goes from 27 down to all the way to 11. Parents talk about their kids not wanting to grow up. Kids in my chair talk about not wanting to grow up.
They just did another survey with Generation Lab, and they said 81% of the students they polled, they side with the killer, or the alleged killer.
We talk about inflation. Whenever I first started renting my first apartment, it was $400. Now you go rent that same apartment, it's gonna be $1,200 in the ghetto, and it's a piece of crap. You're working 40 plus hours a week, 2-3 jobs a week, and it's still not enough. How do you expect that empathy when we've got kids that are being shot every day at school? You know, like, parents are scared, kids are scared.
The value of what's perceived by Gen Z and some of their customers is not that great.
Kind of like an Avenger. They call him the Robin Hood. It's like you go and take from the rich and then you give it back to the poor. That wasn't the way to do it, but it was a good start for a revolution. That's what my generation, that's what we want. We want reform. We want to live and be comfortable and have a balanced life. More so for my generation, that we're not so worried about the political stuff as we are just finding a common ground so we can all have a solid, balanced life.
Mainstream media has its purpose. There's some utilization there in the broader streams. It's not the way necessarily I collect my news either.
We don't really care about the political stuff. We just want to be able to coexist, be able to have fun and work and not just stress all the time. We're living in survival mode because it's like we're literally taking it a day at a time, a year at a time. Ever since COVID, it's just gone from crazy to crazier. And I think we're just emotionally done. This means a lot to me because I do want to build a better life for me and
Absolutely.
my children, you know.
I looked at some data before this show, and I think almost a quarter of Gen Z feels depressed and feels anxious. And I think that was a Gallup survey that was done a couple years ago. And different corporations handle things differently, right? So they ensure the profits of their shareholders, or do they ensure the value goes to their customers? Or what is their mission as a corporation?
I think we're finding our way and finding our voice, because I know once they took TikTok, the meta stocks just started going down. My generation prefers that over mainstream media.
You've got to find trustworthy channels of news, right? Where do you get your information? Not reactive. It's not about the guns and the radios and the cool guy gear, but the reality is we need everybody to evolve.
You don't know what people are thinking or feeling, and somebody was murdered over this. So you just never know.
Your generation, just like millennials, just like Gen X, just like boomers, have to find that way of getting the best information you can to make really good decisions.